Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So as World War III looms across the planet and civil war is on the brink, essentially in the United States, we have the latest here from the Supreme Court. A divided Supreme Court passed a measure allowing federal border agents to remove razor wire installed by Texas along its U.S.-Mexico border. The latest volley in an ongoing legal battle between President Biden and Governor Greg Abbott over border security. Justices voted 5-4 on Monday to vacate a December injunction blocking Customs and Border Protection from removing Texas-installed barriers, allowing the removals to move ahead along a 30-mile stretch near Eagle Pass. Their vote was divided along party lines, with Justices Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Thomas voting to deny the vacation. Biden and Abbott have been lobbying lawsuits back and forth for months over the wire installed along the fraught stretch of Eagle Pass, which has become the epicenter of the migrant crisis in Texas. Blaming the president for failing to take aggressive action to secure the southern border, Abbott has undertaken aggressive border security measures like using state troops to seize Eagle Pass land along the Rio Grande and installing barriers like razor wire. The Department of Justice sued to lift the December injunction on January 2nd, arguing that CBP had the authority without warrant to access all land within 25 miles of the border and that the wire was preventing the agency from fulfilling its duties. I just wonder why they need to go that close to the border between the razor wire and the water. What are they doing in that little area where they need to have free access, that the razor wire is preventing them from moving along and doing their duties, right? The reality of it is the razor wire is preventing them from doing their duties, which is allowing people to come across the border, and they're facilitating the human trafficking into our country illegally. Like other law enforcement officers, Border Patrol agents operating under difficult circumstances at the border must make context dependent. Sometimes, split-second decisions about how to enforce federal immigration laws while maintaining public safety, the DOJ said in its suit. What public are they talking about? Because the only public safety that I care about my tax dollars going towards is Americans' public safety. Public safety for illegal immigrants breaking the law coming into our country illegally should not apply, in my opinion, with my tax dollars, right? Considering it's the federal government's job to secure these borders, I would prefer the razor wire stay in place. I would also prefer Biden go and finish all the walls that Trump started. But continuing, the injunction prohibits agents from passing through or moving physical obstacles erected by the state that prevent access to the very border they are charged with patrolling and the individuals they are charged with apprehending and inspecting. Well, I don't think they're being charged with apprehending anybody to send them back to where they came from. I think it's more of, let's get them over here and get them their paperwork so that they can get on a plane or whatever and be distributed throughout our country, which is the federal government facilitating illegal immigration and human trafficking. That's not what our tax dollars are supposed to go towards, once again. December's injunction was granted by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit in response to a suit filed by Texas in October seeking to block CBP from removing the wire. The razor wire spat is just the latest to arise between Biden and Abbott. Earlier in January, on the same day the lawsuit to lift the December injunction was filed, the DOJ sued Texas over a new law allowing state officials to arrest people found to have illegally entered the country. The law SB 4 makes entering the U.S. illegally a state crime and allows state officials to undertake deportation. It was signed in December and is set to go into effect in March. And as of currently, the states, from what I understand, are not allowed to actually deport individuals back to their country of origin. It's only the federal government, the federal agencies that are allowed to do that, which makes no sense to me considering we are a constitutional republic made up of individual states with their own laws in an agreement that they are blocked from being able to protect their own borders, essentially, leaving it all up to the federal government. Most people know ever since Biden was elected, before he was inaugurated, he said, come on over, the border is open now, basically. And that's what's been happening for 3+ years now. Texas cannot run its own immigration system, the DOJ said in a filing, arguing it would impede with federal government's immigration process and international relations. Well, I don't think Mexico would have a problem or should have a problem with the United States saying we have a problem with open borders and people coming into our country from your country. Those international relationships do not apply, in my opinion, in this case, because it's common knowledge that countries guard their borders. You know what I mean? That's not an unreasonable expectation. No country out there is telling us America needs to have open borders because those countries themselves secure their own. There should be no immigration process for people that cross the border illegally. It's simply turn them around and send them back to where they came from. Unless that person is a known criminal or something like that, then you might have to process them and put them in jail or some type of stuff like that. But that's all for in the name of security. So that statement is a bunch of bullcrap from the DOJ. And in a response to that suit, Governor Abbott said, "I like my chances," in a post on X. And I do too, because of everything that I basically just said. Texas is the only government in America trying to stop illegal immigration, he added. And I'll agree with that. They're definitely on the front lines. I think other states should also support Governor Abbott in Texas in these efforts and pass laws themselves that would allow them to deport illegal immigrants, things like that. Make it a real big issue for the federal government to fight multiple states, in court with unconstitutional type bullcrap. Let the federal government go to court. Let the federal government go to court and say we want these borders wide open and fight against Governor Abbott. The American people will definitely not approve. Maybe Ron DeSantis, who's been spending the last year hanging out in the Midwest trying to dethrone Trump as the front runner in the 2024 election for president, can get his butt back down here to Florida and start governing properly the way a governor should in a state. And maybe this is something that he could do as well. He could follow suit and start winning American favor back by passing good laws to protect Americans in their own homes from foreign invaders, people that are coming across our country lines illegally, breaking the law, and putting more strain on our systems. If you guys agree, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel and sharing this video. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.